you like each other. Good job. You faked it. You're an actress.
And from the depths.
Right.
Yes. Kathleen. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Rock it up.
We'll be going live with the press conference here in just a few minutes, folks.
It's over now. Nap time. Text me and I'll see if I can get back to you. Text me.
Good, good. Can you share one of the pictures that you took with me? Text it to me.
I think so. Yeah, let's see. Like that one?
Yeah, or whichever one you do.
Press conference will be starting in just a minute here.
That one.
How about that?
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Zoe Poliakis. I am the executive producer of this amazing piece of art behind us. I think what we had wanted in a pre-COVID world was this parking lot filled, but we realized we needed to keep it small. And I'm looking around and I know so many of you, and I feel blessed to have this historic day for you. And I want to just take us back for 1 minute. 5 years ago, I was sitting at a bar and I looked over and there was Kathleen. And I walked up to Kathleen's table and I said, "You don't know who I am, but I know who you are. And one day, I'm going to put your face on a mural because of everything that you've done for the LGBTQ community." And 5 years later, we did it. We have a dynamic group of presenters today. But before we get started, I wanted to invite Acer Wright. Acer Wright is a Klamath tribal member, visual artist, executive director of the Indigenous Peoples Power, and founder of Two Spirit, and also up on our mural.
Hello, how are you? Census Acer Wright, Modakni, my name is Acer Wright. I'm Klamath Modoc of the Huske. This morning I have the honor of acknowledging the land, air, water, and indigenous people of this land, along with the stolen people and the stolen labor that built the foundation for the city that we now call Portland. Land acknowledgements have become very performative, a way for non-indigenous folks to check their diversity and equity box and continue on with their work feeling good about their momentary pat on their back. I will not be performing. As a Simon Modoc, today I stand before you as someone who is a guest in this land. Although not far away, my heart aches to return to my homelands and is always filled, happy, and content when I do. Land is connection, culture, language, sustenance. Land is our mother. We have the responsibility to care, nourish, and protect her. As in turn, we care, nourish, and protect ourselves. Our ancestors have always known this balance. This land that we stand upon today is the traditional and current homelands of the Multnomah, Wasco, Cowlitz, Cathlamet, Clackamas, Band of Chinook, Tualatin, Calapria, Malala, and many other tribes that made it their home on the Columbia River. Today, Portland has the 9th largest urban Native population, with representation of over 250 tribes, bands, and nations. It's important to recognize the systemic policies of genocide, relocation, and assimilation that still traumatize and impact Native families today. As settlers and guests on these lands, it is imperative that we respect the work of tribes, bands, and nations, indigenous leaders, businesses, families, and make ongoing efforts to center indigenous knowledge, creativity, resilience, and resistance. If you didn't recognize any one of the tribes I mentioned earlier, you should take time to educate yourself. If you can't name the 9 federally recognized tribes in Oregon, you should take time to educate yourself. If the work that you are doing in your community does not include Native people, you should ask yourself why. These are actions you can commit to do and not make your listening today performative. I want to thank Zoe, Ruben, all the artists, and the partnerships that made this mural possible. This action, however big and historic, however small and just a scratch on the surface of true inclusion, is a visual voice, a representation, a love letter to our ancestors, a proclamation to our future, and an acknowledgement of land, culture, gender, sexuality, and all that is human. So thank you.
The next person I want to introduce is Deborah Porta, the Executive Director of Pride Northwest. Before COVID, we sat at a coffee shop, and I wanted both her advice, connection, and for us to declare a process. And sitting with Deborah, you ever meet somebody and you know that you're friends? And I know that when this is over, I'm going to miss bugging you at 7 o'clock in the morning. Thank you for getting back to me, bugging you at 10 o'clock at night. Deborah has been a blessing to work with, and she's been thoughtful and intentional in this process. Pride decided to come on as our first sponsor, but then they opened up doors for us. Deborah, this wouldn't have been possible without you and Pride Northwest. Please welcome Deborah Porta.
Everybody for coming this morning and joining us in this celebration and launch of what we hope is a much larger effort. I'm going to read so I don't go off script. I've been fortunate enough to work in a field where I'm regularly reminded why LGBTQIA disability matters. After 15 years, I still meet people of all ages of Pride who are newly out or not yet out, who have so much courage, finally, to be able to come to Pride for the first time. Every year, I meet people who are here in the dear city of Portland, who do not feel safe being out of their jobs, or to their landlords, or to their neighbors. I meet and know people, myself included, who will never be able to not question whether or not the treatment they just received, that stare, the firing, the erasure, the punch they just received, was because of their identity or not. Even today, even here in Portland, virtually every space we enter involves scanning the room to see if there's everyone. Are we alone and vulnerable in that space? Or are there people like us there every single time? The Never Look Away mural project is a very intentional reminder to all of Portland that LGBTQI2S+ people are here, and that we've always been here, and that we will always be here. But more important than that, this mural is a reminder and an announcement for every queer person in this city and beyond that you are not alone. That not only do you have a community to come out into and or be part of, but that you are part of a long line of survivors, history makers, change creators, and thrivers. Thank you to Zoe, the office, for bringing your dream to Pride Northwest, for giving us the opportunity to support and be part of such significant work. Thank you to Ruben, Cass, and the artist team for such a beautiful piece of art, done justice to our community, to the meaning that this mural will hold for our community. Thank you to Pat Reeser and to Rack for your enthusiastic support of Never Look Away. Thank you to the dozens of individual community members who have supported this work so far. I mentioned earlier that I feel fortunate. I'm fortunate because I don't want to forget any of our struggles. I don't want to ever forget the courage and the strength that Marsha P., Kathleen, Rupert, David, Justice Yakamoto, Angelica, Asa, and Aiden have shared with us and shown throughout their lives that we can learn from and live into the community.
Can you
I
spare
don't want
that
to
chair
forget or
for me?
ignore
Yes.
our responsibility in carrying their examples forward. What I do want is for every queer person who experiences this mural to see themselves in it, to see and take comfort in the long line of amazing people that they come from, to know that they have just as much strength and just as much courage to live their authentic lives, to make change in this world, and to thrive in whatever way they wish. Thank you.
Is that okay? It's absolutely. The next person I want to introduce is Ruben Lawrence. It's part of the Never Look Away team. Hold on, Ruben. You're welcome. I've got things to say about you before I bring you up. Ruben is in the IT world, and I think what you'll find about this medley of folks that came onto this mural is that we believed in the vision that it is beyond time for there to be representation of our history. And Ruben said a mural? I don't know what that means, but I'm on board. And truly, this could not have been done without a logistical master and manager. So I want to introduce Ruben Lawrence, part of the production team.
Thanks, Zoe. So, I actually want to say a few words about Zoe as well. So she's our executive producer on the Never Look Away mural project. And I've known Zoe probably for about maybe 3 to 4 years now. And one of my favorite things about her is how she'll just come up with this big idea. Oh, we're just going to do this huge mural. And it's just going to happen. And I remember about 2 years ago when she approached me about this, I thought, Jesus, I mean, none of us have really done this before. Zoe has some experience, but I've never done anything like this before. But Zoe brings this energy of, here's an idea, and let's just make it happen. And she pulls together a team, and she finds the resources, and she brings such positive energy and drive, and just keeps everything moving forward. So Zoe, it's been incredible working with you. I very much appreciate being invited into this project. And project speaks for itself at this point. It's incredible. It's almost 2.5, 3 stories high and a city block wide. And it took a huge team of people. So there's myself and Zoe, our producers, and then Cassandra is our the artist producer. And then we had a whole a team of artists as well. And you're going to hear from some of them in just a few moments. One of the things I remember when Zoe first pitched this idea to us, to myself and Cassandra, we were in a coffee shop. This was before COVID in late 2019. And she pitched this idea to us, and I really had no idea what I was going into. It ended up being very logistically complex, to say the least. But we got it done. It was a huge learning process for all of us. Tons of positive energy would happen. And I remember in that meeting in the coffee shop, we were tossing around different ideas of what do we want this to look like, what do we want the message to be. And at the time, I remember, late 2019, you would always hear about people talking about resistance. And I think resistance is important. We need to resist things that we need to resist them. But the other half of that is, I think it's a very important half, is you need to create. You need to resist, but you need to create. You need to create the type of world that you want to live in and that you want to see. And so this is a huge act of creation. And I think it's a beautiful piece of art that is one more piece that's representative of a more inclusive world that we all want to see. The other thing that really kind of touched me throughout the course of this whole project was how it was incredible that when we needed something, or when we needed help with something, it seemingly magically appeared, whether it was in the form of finances. The city of Portland gave us a huge financial contribution by paying for the anti-graffiti coating and wall prep. And all of these things seem to kind of magically come together. And so one of the things I've said to myself and to others that I've talked to about this project is, you've heard the expression, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, I can tell you it takes a village to paint a mural. That's definitely been my experience here with this project. So just a couple of other things I want to touch on. So you can see the mural here, but the future of the Fly Northwest and Never Look Away partnership, it's to go beyond this piece and to partner with companies, nonprofits, and educational institutions to expand our understanding of history makers and build out a curriculum that sheds light on the history of the LGBTQ community as a fabric of the city, living within it, of the city, and not outside of it. This is Portland's first mural dedicated to queer history, and I think that it's going to inspire other people to do acts of creation like this, and some of the education materials that we're going to be creating will further education about our community and just the idea of inclusion at large. So I think I will wrap up there, and thanks very much for coming, everyone.
But first I wanted to bring up the artist team. And I wanted to say this because I think it's of complete significance. Traditionally, public art and murals has been a very male-dominated field. There has not been a lot of opportunities and doors open to women that want to produce this and also create this. The artist team is behind me. And I asked Ms. Swan to make a sponsorship package for me. Cass is a graphic designer. And then she called me a little later after she designed that and said, I would like to be an artist. And I said, do you have any mural experience? Time? No. And I said, hell yes, Cass. You are going to be on this project. And we are going to get an experienced muralist, Rachel Olsen, to mentor you. And we're going to make sure that we have the most fabulous assistants, Naomi, Nafasi, to make this happen. And our portrait artist, Tyra Watkins, capturing beautiful faces of those represented here. These ladies worked until 3 a.m. to put the sketch up. We gave them a timeline of 6 weeks. They completed it in 4.5. I've done murals before. No one's ever done that. They worked through July heat. I came up here in the morning. I didn't have to do any of this, okay? I came up here in the morning. I came up here in the afternoon. And I came up here in the evening, and they were here putting this work on with their hands for our city. I want to introduce our lead designer, Cassandra Swan.
I would just like to say I did do it one small mural. It was really did not prepare me. Know your history. Yeah. I wanted to thank everyone today for allowing me to speak and also for allowing me to be part of this important work. From an early age, it has been a goal of mine to use my artistic talent to foster conversations which can lead to change, real change, the kind that happens in hearts and minds. Never Look Away is a realization of that goal in so many ways. Through this project, we hope to create the future we wanted to see in Portland, a future that is inclusive of all, and one which celebrates the contributions of every kind of board member in our community. Community has been such a huge theme for this project, as we're going to spoke to. From engaging with Portland's LGBTQIA2S+ community through the conversations facilitated at Pride Month, to being so beyond the work by Portland Street Art Alliance and others through advocacy and donations. There has been no greater blessing for me during Finally, the lion on Aiden Dowling's shirt comes from his YouTube channel and represents strength, courage, and the hope for a brighter future for whoever will be featured on the next year. And we certainly hope there will be more murals and more storytelling to make up for the holes in our history. As we were wrapping up the painting, one of our artists asked me, "But is this enough?" And of course the answer is no. This is not enough. The work is never done. But we can hope that this will serve as a visual reminder and of inspiration that though there is so much more left to do, when we work together, we can accomplish anything.
Hello. Okay, two things before I get started. One, I'm going to yell, because I put some thought into these words and I want y'all to hear them. And two, this is going to be short. So as a portrait artist, I spend a lot of time replicating a person's number one identifier, their face. And if I'm lucky, I'll know their name. And if they're lucky, I'll know a little bit about their backstory. But a lot of times when I paint in solitude, in silence, so I have a lot of time to think. And when I'm painting someone, I'll have this come to God moment, this premonition, if you will. And one of the most profound thoughts I had while painting is, if this person who I'm memorializing on this canvas did not have the courage to authentically be themselves, they'll only be remembered for who they pretended to be. And that sat with me. Because for a long time, I pretended to be what society wanted me to be. I shielded my true essence of myself, and I don't want to do that anymore. And this mural, I think, embodies that for a lot of people. We see a lot of stories of people being brave, being courageous, and even being persecuted for being their very true selves. And I hope that we take that as a message that we don't have to hide anymore. We don't have to pretend anymore. We can be our authentic and true selves, be true to our nature. And let it be bold, let it be loud, and let them never look away. That's what I see when I look at this mural, and I hope that's the same image you get when you look at it as well. Thank you guys for having me. It was such an honor.
I think we have to yell.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm going to introduce Dan Wright. He is the third out city commissioner. We asked Dan on super short notice, and he decided to make room in his schedule happily. Dan Ryan,
Of course I made time. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Let's put something down here. Good morning, community. I am City Commissioner Dan Ryan, and I'm an out queer HIV elder who is so grateful to serve the city that I love so much. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I'll try to really get it close. It's a love affair, as you know, to serve at this time. It's got to be. Portland at moments like this certainly nurture that love, and we need moments like this. Thank you, artists. That was so beautiful to listen to what both just said. So much. And thank you, Deborah Porter. Your leadership is so understated, and it's so sincere, and it's also inclusive. And Deborah, you get results, and this is a great example of that. Thank you so much for what you do for our community, Deborah. My friends, and I just happen to know a few of you quite well, staring at you right now. Oh, you look good. And I'm just so happy to know that people will be looking into your eyes and then hearing the artists speak to what you go through to see their authentic self. At least the ones I know, they've always lived their authentic self. And boy, have I felt that many times. Doesn't always feel good, but man, it comes right at you. Love you, Kathleen. And I also, it's not lost on me that this radiant public art is near that place over there, the Embers. I was once young, and boy, did I dance a lot in the 80s. And I was thinking a lot about that this morning. And I actually thought about the many people who aren't here anymore that I used to dance with. And if you just take a moment of silence for all the people that we lost during the HIV pandemic, just take a moment of silence to remember them. You can hear the music playing. Thank you. Although those souls are no longer here, they're the souls. That is the soul of the city. And this allows that to be remembered. We all went to way too many funerals in the 80s and 90s, and this moment reminds us how important it is, and it is important for me to hold them in my heart as we allow love to motivate and inspire as we fight. And we are fighting right now for the soul of the city that we love. Anyway, this is a great day to be in Portland, and I hope that you're all taking it in, and it was such an honor to be asked to be at the podium this morning. Thank you so much.
We have a poem that was written by Joaquin. Joaquin shared it with me, and I cannot wait for you all to hear what he has written. He is the creative laureate for the city of Portland. He is also a queer identity. I would like to welcome Joaquin. Never be born.
Oh, is this yours, Zoe? Your mask?
Yes, fabulous.
Bedazzled mask. All right. I was about to say good evening, everybody, because I'm used to performing in the evenings. But good morning, everybody. Can everyone hear me just fine? Great. This is something I wrote for all of our honored and decorated leaders today. Family is everything. It is more than money, more than power, than status. Family is even stronger than language. It is the vessel that contains and creates who we are. Family, the seed of every community, the carrier of culture, the spiritual spiral scaffolding of our being, the curve of our lips, the sound of our voice, our names, the blood in our veins. And for so many of us, for too many of us, it is the first thing we lose, the one thing we need most when we come out. And when we come out, we are alone, bullied, made fun of, ignored, gaslighted, left to die, and everyone looks away. Then through an act of grace, we choose to wake up the next day. We learn to find something to believe in. Anything. The taste of coffee, the taste of food, the sound of music, we look to the icon of an email inbox hoping someone will reach out to us. The kindness of a stranger. Eventually, we build the courage to attend Pride. We choose to belong. With time, we learn what it is to have pride. Inspired and empowered, we create our own cultural pride. We learn to utilize our voice. We learn to listen. In listening, we realize there is a family, a union with others just like ourselves. We are unique. We learn to laugh again, to trust again, to call on one another again. We learn that God, the universe, makes no mistakes. We learn to forgive, accept, let go. Then we see, understand that when we fall and get up again, that is the never-ending story of existence, strength, resilience, the embers of life. Dear honored and decorated leaders, as a community, every once in a while, we lose faith in love, in heroes, and in martyrs. We lose faith in the power of music and words. We lose faith in life and in ourselves. Then we believe that love cannot save us, nor heal us, or take us to that special place, filled with joy, with an illuminating sun, where flowers rain and monarch butterflies dance. Then, like a punch to the gut, the revolution arrives. Our bodies shake. Our blood flows. Our wings form. Our cocoons dismember. We open our wings. We release. The wind takes us. And suddenly the world is beautiful, open, warm. We lift our eyes. We see you. Rupert Kennard, Justice Lynn Nakamoto, Kathleen Sadat. We lift our eyes. We see you, Aiden Dowling, Angelica Ross, Acer Wright. We lift our eyes and we see you, David Martinez, and Her Majesty, the Queen, Marsha P. Johnson. You are the seed of our community, the carriers of our culture, the spiritual spiral scaffolding of all our beings. You are the curve of our lips, the sound of our voices, our names. You are the blood in our veins. You are family. And you remind us to tend our gardens, to stand up against injustice, to draw a new future self, to transform into who we are. You call upon us to calculate our next move, to discern our actions, to sing our next song. You affirm we are of the land. children of Mother Earth. All souls are one. Your courage stimulates. Your bravery energizes. We know your language and you know ours. We know your pain and we know yours. Finally, the walls that have held us back for so long within ourselves and in our city have been transformed through you. Today, our freedom lives within us. Today, we stand closer to each other, hand in hand, eye to eye, soul to soul. Together, we are better. May we never look away. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I don't think I envisioned that we would have a Never Look Away poem by Joaquin Lopez. And I'm so thankful we do. There's kind of been a running theme throughout this that I'm either drinking coffee or drinking a beer, coming up with ideas. And so the next person I am happy to introduce, Commissioner Rubio. We've never had coffee or beer, but I want to explain why. I had a glass of wine and I texted the production team and Deborah. And I said, what if we made a Never Look Away day? And Deborah said, this is a little short notice. And then 2 minutes later, she texted back, email sent. And within a few days, Deborah worked with the city and designed a proclamation. So today, August 20th, is Never Look Away Day. And we've invited Commissioner Rubio, good friends with David Martinez with Intention. We have an all-female artist team, and we wanted to have the voice of the first Latinx female commissioner. Please welcome Carmen Rubio.
So much, Zoe, and thank you, Joaquin, for that beautiful poem. I don't know where Joaquin the other is. Always, as always, very sweet and Joaquin is so important for that today. I want to thank you all so much for being here today. It's been incredible. I can't tell you how honored I feel to stand together today with all of you. Right up front. Okay. It's an incredible honor to be here today to celebrate with all of you and to be here with these leaders, in honor of these leaders who've broken down so many barriers, fought for equity and for justice, and paved the way for so many in our community who for so long have been silenced. Their accomplishments and contributions are numerous, but it's the courage, it's the spirit, it's the ganas and the deep love for our community that truly inspires me today. Their example inspires all of us and encourages young people to feel proud and to feel seen and to bring their full selves to all that they do, to demand recognition and dignity when trying to be erased, but most of all for giving the wisdom and support to future generations that they are worthy and that they are seen. This is what makes Portland the place that we call home. Not only the bridges and the food trucks, those are very great too, don't get me wrong, but what makes us proud to call Portland home are the people like Marsha, like David Martinez, like Asa, and Kelly, Angelica, Aiden, Kathleen, Judge Lynn, and Rupert. Portland leaders who unapologetically stand up for the LGBT plus community and other Black, Indigenous, Latinx, Asian American, and Pacific Islanders, and other marginalized communities, and have refused to let anything clear their power and their progress. Never Look Away is such a profoundly fitting name, and also is a call to action, and a challenge to each one. It challenges us to look at those places in our history, in our schools, workplaces, and communities, even in our own families, that are out of alignment with what we say we value, and especially when it's possible. This beautiful mural is a reminder of the strength that has taken those before us to claim their spaces, and the recognition of the economic, cultural, and civic contributions LGBTQ+ leaders who have made this as Portland's official arts commissioner and as the first Latinx elected to Portland City Council, I feel so honored and privileged to have this beautiful art conveying this compelling and important story of leadership in my home. To Zoe, Deborah, and the honorees, the muralists and painters, and numerous others who make this happen, thank you so much and congratulations today on this incredible outcome. And so now I've been asked to read a proclamation from the mayor on behalf of our entire council. So here it goes. Whereas the long and ongoing struggle of transgender, genderqueer, lesbian, gay, bisexual, and other sexual minorities for basic civil and human rights continues to provide inspiration to all those who work against discrimination and oppression. And whereas the presence and visibility of the LGBTQ community continues to enhance quality of life in the city of Portland, and whereas the city of Portland is committed to diversity, social justice, equity, and mutual respect as a fundamental aspect of a healthy community, and whereas works of art and artistic expression have been tools for change and for celebration throughout history, and whereas the Never Look Away mural is a first of its kind in Portland dedicated to the LGBTQ community. Now therefore I, Ted Wheeler, Mayor of the City of Portland, Oregon, the City of Roses, do hereby proclaim August 2021 to be Never Look Away Day in Portland, and encourage all residents to observe this day. We're coming to a close, and I want to make sure that we had the folks that are represented on the mural an opportunity to speak and engage with you. David Martinez. David, I just have to say, Deborah said we need to have David. It wasn't just Deborah's decision, of course, but one of the reasons is because of how much you uplift community. And David, from us having dinner together to you giving us connections, you giving us ideas, beyond reading a bio about you, it stood out to me that this wasn't about accolades. This truly was about community. So even having the 6 weeks of getting to know you has been a blessing. I want to introduce David Martinez.
Okay, deep breath, deep breath. We've been standing, we need to stretch a little bit. Ay, Dios mío. I've been asked to just share, and I humbly and respectfully share on behalf of our honorees, of us, of what it means to see us so big, so bright, and a permanent part of the city of Portland. I think that's a round of applause. I think it's safe to say that we never expected to be up on a mural. I think it's also safe to say that our journey, there are some similarities. I think each of us were first. Each of us in our youth, each of us in our present day, we represent, we reflect, and we honor familia. We honor our community, and we take pride in everything that we bring to every table, that whether or not there's a seat for us, we are present. Whether or not our voice at times may or may not be welcome, we are loud. And whether or not we get tired, oh my goodness, the journey is long. We persist. We are resilient. And we are grateful. I think of familia. And I think of course, how I've connected such a small world. Asa, as a student at Portland State University, Asa has made it possible for PSU to be a leader in Native American studies. The Native American Student Center owes a lot of gratitude to Acer Wright. Rupert, your talent, your imagination, the brown bomber, that lifted and continues to lift our community, to see ourselves reflected and to see ourselves present and accepted. Kathleen, again, Commissioner Ryan referenced your presence, your resilience, and your voice. You represent whether or not you have accepted always that opportunity, you never turned it away. And we owe a lot to where we are now because of your resilience and determination. Lynn, Justice, one of the things that we feel so privileged is to know at the end of the day what is right and what is wrong. And in your role for the state of Oregon, you honor and represent and are that voice. And we can only be grateful and truly honor you for accepting, working, and being appointed, long time needing to be there, and making a difference in whether or not we can get married. Thank you. I want to thank the artists, your vision, your creativity, your talents. It's one of those things that we just step back and you let the creativity flow. The producers, the sponsors, the partners, coming together with a vision is one thing. Making it happen to the present day is totally different. And here we are. I personally need to honor my family. Their resilience, their determination, that I see them reflecting. So, deep breath, muchísimas gracias. On behalf of all of us, on behalf of the folks that aren't here, and the shoulders that we stand on, and the communities we represent, our struggle continues. The journey never ends. We're persistent, we're resilient. Y sigamos adelante. We keep going forward. Gracias, Zoe. Thank you, everybody.
We're about to cut a ribbon. This is going to be Never Look Away Day, but I had to have Justice Lynn Nakamoto address us. She is the first Asian appointed justice to the Supreme Court of Oregon. And as you heard, she worked on one of the most important pieces of legislation to ensure that folks could get married. I want to invite Justice Lynn Nakamoto to come up and speak.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to keep this short because I know I'm the person standing in the way of the ribbon cutting. And you've heard it all. This is a big, beautiful, 3-story, full block wall mural representing our community, a piece of public art, and rightfully so. Because we are part of this community, a big part of this community, as we have heard all morning. And if you'll forgive me, I'm just going to do a little bit of history. And there's a reason why it's taken so long for us to be recognized. As someone said, this is the first mural for the LGBT community in Portland. It's because during our lifetimes, things were not so good. We've heard about the struggle, about the resistance, about the pain. But today is about celebration. And it is a great thing to be here to celebrate with all of you this mural. And thank you so much to everyone who made this happen. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it is a testament to everyone, everyday people who came before us to get us to this point. So thank you all for being here.
I want to say to the class area, if you would like to ask questions of the folks on the mural, following the ribbon cutting today. But I want to invite 2 very important people. You've heard about them, as many folks have mentioned them. Kathy Sadat and Rupert Kennard. Friends for how many years?
There we go.
How are you? Can I give you a hug? I saw you over there doing your thing, and I was like, I mean, you look gonna be so beautiful.
All right.
You like always were colorful. You're probably gonna be on the next one.
You know what? I'd rather pink than that.
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be fun. So I'm gonna have to get with Deborah.
Yeah, she's a change agent. She makes it happen. How have you been?
Still in school.
It takes us like distance learning used to take us specific. Now it's all inclusive. You know,
I tried it one time. What a guy.
Oh, yeah, and then hi George.
George!
I just sneezed on my hand.
Okay. Good to see you. Gosh, George. Oh man, look who's behind you.
I know, it's everybody.
Break me out the piece. Oh, Marty. He's doing the much better now. I'm working it.
I want to shake your hand. I'm welcome. I can do it.